Hello friends, welcome to yet another episode and this is episode number 23 and we are soon marching towards a milestone episode, 25 episodes. We are just 2 episodes away. This is episode number 23 and it is titled as Unwarranted Choice. You'll get to know why I gave that as a title. In this episode, I did to share an interesting experience as usual with one of the senior intermediate studying girl who's having aspirations, to make big in life and so on. But let's look into it. So here is how the conversation happened. I was talking to this girl who's studying a senior intermediate or a 12th grade. She was pursuing a commerce stream, and her aspirations are basically to get into something like a design, design as a career. So that's what she was contemplating. But that seems to be pretty normal, that many children would aspire to one or the other career. That's not the big deal, in this experience. But the point is, this child travels 2 hours one side and 2 hours, 2 hours for going to the college by changing 2 to 3 public transport buses in Hyderabad. That's the level of effort this girl puts in to get to college and to go back home. 3.5 to 4 hours every day she had to spend in traveling. That's the only option she had. She couldn't find any other option. The good thing is the college which she was studying in is supporting her in all respects, and then being with her. This girl, a little bit of background before I get to the actual challenge. This girl has got some natural talent of knitting and weaving kind of talent. She can make some small little fancy items, tabletop items or related to knitting and weaving kind of things. And this girl sells them online and she uses Instagram as a portal for her to sell her small little handmade goods. The fancy items is what typically you call it, or the decorative items you may want to call it. And she makes little amount out of that. And not only that, whatever amount she makes of her talent, she supports her family with that amount. How nice is that? At a very 16, 17 years of age, a young girl is supporting her family. And you know why she had to support her family? Both her parents are almost kind of bedridden. They can't actually physically work actively. They're kind of confined to home. Not completely bedridden, they're confined to home. They can't do physical work. So, and by now you would have understood the family is kind of little socio-economically little kind of low on that rating. And this girl has an elder sister who managed to complete some undergraduation and then eventually was doing some job. So both these sisters support their family. Now the story or the catch here is the parents come from a completely orthodox mindset with a religious beliefs and all that, which is holding them back. Now they are primarily against girl-child education. But yet the elder one managed to get to certain level. Now that she's earning and then supporting back the family, they had to keep quiet because the earning potential of both the parents have gone down and they're literally confined to home. The majority of the support comes from the elderly daughter. And of course, the younger daughter, whom I had a conversation with, is also supporting on good terms. But the parents with that religious belief or a belief system, the social stigma, whatever that is, they had this, they are primarily against the girl-child education and they are insisting the younger one to withdraw from studies, which has been going on for quite some time. But by the time I was having the conversation, a career conversation with this girl, it has reached to a peak where they have given an ultimatum to this young girl saying that, no, if you want to continue your education, you had to leave home. And if you want to stay home, then you have to give up the education. You need to stop going to school, college, whatever that is. So that's the ultimatum the parents have given. Now, this girl is in a fix. More than a career aspiration or a career conversation, it went on more of a general counseling kind of it. Now, this girl is in a fixed situation where she had to choose between home or education. Now, she's very committed, very determined, very hardworking, and she want to continue her education, but she can't take chance of leaving parents and home at that very young age of 16 years of age. And not only that, and she's not grown enough, she's not grown old to be independent, and then to make that call. I know this doesn't happen in many families, but only a certain social structure or a stigma would lead to such conversations or such discussions. Now I had to make this girl sit and explain to her for a longer time, saying that you have not grown too old to be independent, and it is not a good choice to go against parents and against the family structure and against the belief system. At the same time, you are not expected to kind of compromise on your aspirations. You always had to find balance between the both. Sometimes it may not be possible, but as much as possible, balance it out. Now, for some reason, your parents are insisting you to withdraw from studies. But the same parents had no choice after your elder sister has proven a point that she can support the family. They had to let her do whatever she's doing. You may also get the terms at some point, but until then, you need to stay calm, you need to stay composed, stay focused. Don't get panic, don't be emotional, try to be little, balancing. So what you could do is, you as if that you respect your parents, you make sure that they are not hurt, so that you have a support system which is around you, especially as a girl child. You don't miss on that. That is very important. In the society, that is very important. Of course, after a few years, once you become independent, financially independent, and then you become on your own, you can make that call, whichever way you want to stay with or you want to go out, whatever that is. It's ultimately your life. By the way, I'm not advising to every child to move, leave home or whatever. That's not the point. Now, I explained to her, saying that your support system, your parents, your family is very important to you. Now, you find a balance. How? Look at, doing, meeting only an attendance requirement. Minimum attendance requirement for you to appear for exams. That could be one of the options, though this is not an ideal option. The second option is look at open schooling. Look at open schooling as an option. The other option is look at distance education, so that you don't have to, hurt your parents or leave home. Though it is not sounding logical from whatever information we have at this point in. Now she said, yes, I understand and all that. Well, the point, my friends, here is basically we still come across such parents, such social, community, such a stigma which is around us. Not often, but at times. So it is very important as an adult, as a counselor, as a mentor, awaken those parents if we get an opportunity to let them know, what is the world like, having a career, having an aspiration and all that. And of course, certain beliefs would pull them down as a family, as a community. Sometimes certain, belief systems would pull them down, which is understood. But I'm not trying to drive home a point that we all should do social service. No. At our own capacities, you awaken those parents who are actually holding their children back. Especially we find this in a, economically, challenged communities or, those families. Sometimes because of the orthodox belief system, even though they are economically doing well, somewhere it is still there in our society. Not very often, but at times we come across. So the point I'm trying to drive home through this experience is we all have equal responsibility in awakening those parents as our bit in our own capacity. We don't necessarily have to do, social service or social reforms and all that. And I hope that adds a little value, insight that we come across such conversations. If you're a student, you would have understood how to balance it between your parents expectations and your willingness. And if you are a parent, you would know that how important it is to let your child, irrespective of the gender, just get along. And if you're a counselor or a mentor watching this, listening to this conversation, then you know what insights that I'm trying to bring up to you. And I hope in all respects you are able to resonate with my experience in this episode. And thank you so much for your encouragement so far. And I hope as usual, this episode also added value to your perspective, to your insight. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll come back soon with another episode. Until then, do take care. Thank you.